You've just played a terrible round of golf. Not a bad round, not even a very bad round, but a true golfing nightmare. Bad enough to make you question everything you've been doing, why you bother playing the game, even your sense of self-worth as a human being. But what if it's not just a bad round? What if it's the start of a bad run? What if this round is the trigger for weeks or even months of terrible golf? And oh look, you've got that dream trip or that corporate day or the club championships coming up. Do not panic, this is fixable. We've all been there. I know I have, and from living through this painful process on more than one occasion, I've developed a 5-step protocol to help you bust the slump before it even gets started. This is a feeling that everyone can relate to. No matter how well you've been playing, how good you're feeling, how confident you are in your game, suddenly, bam, out of nowhere, a true golfing apocalypse. I know this feeling very well. I have recently had a round exactly like this. Well, 2 actually, although who's counting? It sets off countless sirens in your head, or at least it does for me. You go to thinking about everything that's wrong, what could have caused the bad round, how can you fix it, how can you even know what the problem is, how are you going to be able to set it right before you next go out. All of these thoughts start swirling through your head, and it is not a fun, nor is it a productive place to be. But after my most recent such experience, I decided that instead of spiraling, I would try to learn how best to recover from such a situation. What is the best and quickest way to bounce back from that?
Because I bounced back.
I realized that this could be an opportunity for me to learn, and also a good opportunity for some hashtag content, and also to try and help some other golfers out there, because from speaking to people and just from knowing plenty of people who do play, this is something of a universal experience. Everyone goes through a golfing nightmare like this, hopefully not too regularly, but it can set people down a very bad path. You can hit a slump which could last weeks or even months. And so the quicker we can recover from this, the quicker we can find a way to pull ourselves out of it, the better. So what I've come up with is what I'm calling the Rapid Recovery Protocol, because everybody loves a good acronym. This is a 5-step plan to help you get back on level ground, get back on your feet after a truly disastrous round of golf. Something to help you level out, reset, and get back to playing your best golf, or at least good golf, as soon as is practically possible. So I'm going to run through this today in the hopes that it might help some of you out there, and frankly in the hopes that it might help me the next time I go through something like this. See if I can really get it drilled into that brain. Just a quick one, if you are enjoying the video so far or you get value out of it, I would very much appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. I am uploading new videos about golf improvement and my golfing journey every week, and I would love to have you along for the ride. So the first step is reset. Take a beat, take a breath, take a break. Take some time, even if it's just 24 hours, to step away from the round, step away from golf, decompress, and try not to think about it. I know that is much easier said than done, and I know that I personally have a tendency to just dwell on bad rounds of golf after they happen. But it's not productive right in the aftermath of having stepped off the course. So the first step is just to get away, try to do something else and get a little bit of perspective. Try to do something else you enjoy, try to distract yourself, just try to give yourself a bit of a buffer from golf in general. Then something that I have found in the past can help is to sort of do an actual physical reset or cleanse yourself of the round in some way. That could just be putting a fresh sleeve of balls into your bag, putting some new tees in there, swapping your ball marker for something else, breaking out a new glove, just something to symbolically move yourself from the nightmare round of golf to your next round of golf. A sort of bury the ball situation, if you will. There is of course a caveat to this. If you have had a nightmare round of golf in the middle of a multi-day competition, this is obviously harder. However, there is still something you can do in this regard on a sort of micro scale. Try not to just roll off your bad round of golf straight to the range. Have a shower, have a meal. Even if you could just take an hour or 30 minutes to decompress, it can help before you move on to the next stage. The next stage is analyze. And part of the reason for step 1, reset, is because it's quite hard to objectively analyze what's gone wrong when you are still spiraling and still in that negative headspace. Now, there are some rounds of golf where it's very difficult to know what's gone wrong, or so many things have gone wrong that it's almost impossible to pick the bones out of it. But if you can, it's useful at this point to try and actually step back and, as dispassionately as you're able, analyze what actually caused the round to go so very badly wrong. If you have something like Arcos or ShotScope, or you use an app to track your rounds, then you can of course look at the strokes gained data, which should be able to give you some objective numbers in terms of what caused your score to be as high as it was. Was it tee shots, approach, short game putting, and so on? That is obviously very useful to look at. There's also a possibility that your round was bad because you got completely banged by the variance of when your bad shots happened. If that is something you are interested in, then please do check out this video that I recently put out about that exact topic. As I say, sometimes the answer is just everything, and there's no real sense in then going too far deeper. It's best to just sweep it away and move on. But if there are some actionable takeaways, if you lost 10 shots because you were hitting your tee balls out of bounds, then that is worth knowing and something that can help you as you move forward and as you move on to the next stages. Also, it's important to look beyond just the golfing reasons for why your round might have been so bad. You might have gotten swept up in the round and sort of forgotten that you actually only had 2 hours sleep the previous night, or you're just recovering from flu, or you have an ear infection, or you got to the course 5 minutes before you were supposed to tee off and didn't have a warm-up. So as well as looking at the specifics of your round and why it went so badly, try and zoom out one level and see if there were perhaps any other factors besides the golfing ones that might have played into why things went so horribly awry. And then P is for practice. Practice! But gently. This doesn't mean go out and grind on all of the specific moves and positions you've been working on, bust out the training aids, get on all the drills that you've been working on over the past 6 months. It's important after a round like this to practice in the right way and to take it easy on yourself. Don't rush to fix everything. Even if you have managed to figure out what went wrong in the last round, don't rush to put band-aids over every last thing straight away. Just go back to the basics. Grip, stance, posture, alignment, whatever it is in your setup and your swing that is fundamental to success, just spend your next practice session or your next couple working on those things. Don't put yourself under unnecessary stress and strain trying to go from 0 to 100 in 1 or 2 range sessions. Be a bit kind to yourself, go back to the basics, and just see if you can start to get some feels working on those really fundamental things. Also, as well as the technical, just try to clear your head. Our minds have a tendency to get away from us when things are going wrong on the golf course. Everything starts moving very, very quickly, and it's very difficult to think clearly in those moments. I certainly know personally I start to get overloaded with swing thoughts the more things go wrong. The more things get away from me, the more I try to figure out what it might be in the moment, and by the end of the round I've got 17 different feels and swing thoughts that I'm trying to execute on every shot, and things are just getting worse and worse. So try to still your brain, still the monkey mind, and get back to 1, maybe 2 feels or swing thoughts that have worked for you in the past or that you feel comfortable with going into the next time you play. Also, when you are practicing, do something you're good at or something you enjoy. Something where you can remind yourself that you are in fact a good golfer and that maybe not everything is as bad as it seems. And that brings me to inject positivity. Hey, all good acronyms have one which is a little bit shoehorned and a stretch, and this is mine, okay? Just roll with it. Inject positivity into your feels, into your mind, into your game. Go out and do something which for you, whatever your skill level, is relatively easy. That could be playing the short course at your club, or the par 3s, or going and teeing off from the front tee boxes. If you're a brilliant driver of the golf ball, then go out there and hammer some right down the range. Just get yourself feeling better about yourself and the state of your game. Don't go straight out and punish yourself by playing the tips in 30-mile-an-hour winds. That is not going to help and not going to make things any better. Go out on the course just casually. Don't put in a scorecard, take it easy. If you hit a bad shot, throw a ball down and hit another one from where you are. Do whatever you need to do to feel like a good golfer again, whatever that is for your level of play. And then finally, detach. Just let it go. Once you've gone through all of these other steps, you just need to truly put that round in the past. These things happen, they happen to all of us. Hopefully they don't happen too often, but they're never, sadly, going to stop happening at all. The better we get, the higher our bar for what is good and what is bad, but still, relatively speaking, bad rounds are going to happen. Hopefully they only happen to this extent, maybe once or twice a year, but it is important to be able to do things and take measures to stop one bad round becoming several or becoming a sustained period of bad play or even lacking confidence. Lacking confidence in your golf game, not knowing where the ball's going when you stand over it, is a really, really horrible position to be in and is super debilitating. So you do have to get to a certain point where you just put that round in the past and move forward. And hopefully the 4 prior steps to this can help you to do that. An important thing to remember in this regard is that just like shots, rounds happen in isolation. Just because you hit a bad shot doesn't mean the next one's also going to be bad. And in the same way, just because you had a bad round, it doesn't mean the next one is going to be bad. These things are not connected anywhere other than in our own heads. And we need to remember that so that we don't think there's going to be a through line from what happened last time to what's going to happen next time. It's easier said than done, but as best as you are able, you need to go full eternal sunshine. You need to stare into the Men in Black red light. You need to just wipe it from your brain and move forward. Anchor yourselves to the good rounds you've played, the good shots you've hit recently, and take those forward with you next time you step out on the course. And that's it. The 5-step rapid recovery protocol for helping you get over a truly nightmarish round of golf. I hope it helps. If it does, if you have any thoughts or feedback, please do drop them in the comments below. Hopefully you don't need it. Hopefully I don't either. But just in case of emergency, there it is. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.